Have you ever told yourself, "I'll do it later," only to realize later never came? What if the biggest thing standing between you and your dreams isn't lack of talent, money, or opportunity, but simply waiting? What are you waiting for? Do it now. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but this idea has the power to completely change your life. Every day you hesitate, you lose time you can never get back. Every moment you delay, someone else is out there taking action, getting closer to their goals. So the real question is, how much longer are you willing to stay stuck where you are? Today, let's talk about why we wait, what it's costing us, and how taking action right now, even in small steps, can lead to big changes. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Someday. I'll do it someday. It's comforting, isn't it? It gives you permission to delay without feeling like you've quit. But let's break it down. Someday is not a real day. It's not on your calendar. It has no urgency, no pressure, no commitment. And because of that, it quietly steals your dreams. Think about how many times you've said, "I'll start working out someday. I'll start that business someday. I'll chase my passion someday." Now ask yourself, how long has someday been in your life? Months? Years? The danger of someday is that it creates a false sense of progress. You feel like you've made a decision, but you haven't taken action. Here's a powerful shift. Replace someday with a date, even if it's imperfect, even if you're unsure. Because a real date creates accountability, urgency, direction, and most importantly, it forces you to move. Open Book Chapter 2. Why we procrastinate. Procrastination isn't about laziness. It's about emotion. Your brain is constantly trying to protect you from discomfort. And action, especially meaningful action, often feels uncomfortable. Let's go deeper. Fear of failure. You imagine the worst-case scenario. You fail publicly. You disappoint yourself. You prove your doubts right. So your brain says, "Let's not risk it." But here's what's fascinating. People who succeed don't avoid failure. They normalize it. They see failure as data, not identity. Perfectionism. You tell yourself, "I'll start when I'm ready." But ready is often just perfection in disguise. You want the perfect plan, the perfect skills, the perfect conditions. But perfection delays progress. Done is better than perfect. Decision fatigue. Too many options can paralyze you. You overthink. Which path is best? Which strategy is right? Which step to take first? And in trying to choose perfectly, you choose nothing. Lack of immediate reward. Your brain loves instant gratification. Scrolling, watching, relaxing, these give immediate pleasure, but long-term goals, they require delayed gratification. So you default to what feels good now. Open Book Chapter 3. The Cost of Waiting. Waiting feels harmless, but it's not. Every day you delay, something is happening behind the scenes. Small orange diamond, your confidence is shrinking. Each time you don't act, you send yourself a message. I don't follow through. And over time, that belief becomes your identity. Small orange diamond opportunities are passing. Opportunities don't wait forever. Someone else is. Applying for that position. Starting that business. Taking that risk. While you hesitate, they move forward. Small orange diamond time is slipping away. Time is your most valuable resource. You can't save it. You can't rewind it. You can only spend it. And the scariest part, you often don't realize its value until it's gone. Small orange diamond regret builds quietly. Regret doesn't hit all at once. It accumulates. Small missed chances, small delays, until one day you look back and wonder, what if I had just started? Open Book Chapter 4. Action creates confidence. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you build. And it's built through evidence. Every time you take action, you prove something to yourself. I can try. I can learn. I can improve. Let's break it down. The confidence loop. You take action. You gain experience. You build belief. You take bigger action. And the cycle continues. Why thinking doesn't work. You can think about doing something for years. But thinking doesn't create evidence. Action does. Micro wins matter. Big confidence doesn't come from big wins alone. It comes from small, repeated victories. Showing up. Finishing tasks. Keeping promises to yourself. Open Book Chapter 5. The Power of Starting Small. One of the biggest mistakes people make is this. They try to change everything at once, and when they can't sustain it, they quit. Instead, start small. Why small works. It reduces resistance. It builds consistency. It creates momentum. For example, want to write? Write 100 words. Want to exercise? Start with 5 minutes. Want to learn? Study one concept. Small actions are easy to repeat, and repetition creates habits. Open Book Chapter 6. Building an action mindset. Your mindset shapes your behavior. An action-oriented mindset is built on a few key beliefs. Progress over perfection. I don't need perfect, I need movement. Ownership. My life is my responsibility. No blaming, no excuses, adaptability. If this doesn't work, I'll adjust. Action takers don't stop, they pivot. Bias toward action. When in doubt, move. Even imperfect movement is better than stillness. Open Book Chapter 7. Breaking through fear. Fear never fully disappears. Even the most successful people feel it. The difference, they don't obey it. Instead of asking, how do I eliminate fear? Ask, how do I act despite it? Reframe fear. Fear often means growth, opportunity, change. Shrink the risk. Break big actions into smaller steps. Fear decreases when the step feels manageable. Open Book Chapter 8. Do it now. Final expanded tilde 4 minutes. Powerful driving tone. This is where everything comes together. Right now, not later. Not when you feel ready. Now, think about that thing you've been postponing. Be honest. You've thought about it many times. You've planned it. You've imagined it. But you haven't done it, so here's your challenge. Fire the do it now rule. When you feel the urge to delay, act within 5 minutes. Send the message, start the task, take the step, because action doesn't just change your situation, it changes you. Chapter 9. What happens after you start? So you did it, you started. Maybe it felt exciting, maybe it felt awkward, maybe it felt uncomfortable. That's normal, because starting isn't the finish line, it's the beginning of a new challenge. Here, that's what most people don't expect. Progress feels messy. It won't look like a straight line. Some days, you'll feel motivated. You'll make progress. You'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you'll doubt yourself. You'll feel slow. You'll question everything. That doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're in the process. Motivation fades. At the beginning, you feel energized, but that feeling doesn't last, and that's okay. Because success isn't built on motivation, it's built on discipline. You'll face resistance again. Even after starting, your brain will try to pull you back into comfort. You'll hear thoughts like, maybe this isn't for me. I'll continue tomorrow. This is too hard. This is the moment that defines everything. Do you stop or do you continue? Open Book Chapter 10. The Power of Consistency. Consistency is where real transformation happens. Not in big bursts of effort, but in small actions repeated daily. Let's make this real. If you improve just 1% every day, in a year you become unrecognizable. Why consistency beats intensity. Doing something extreme for 1 week doesn't change your life. Doing something small for 1 year does. Build systems, not just goals. Goals give direction, but systems create results. For example, goal: get fit. System: exercise 10 minutes every morning. Make it non-negotiable. Treat your actions like appointments. You don't skip them, you show up. Open Book Chapter 11, Overcoming Setbacks. You will mess up. You will skip days. You will lose momentum. You will feel like quitting. That's not failure, that's being human. The never miss twice rule. Miss 1 day, fine. Miss 2 days. Now it becomes a pattern, so your only job: get back on track immediately. Learn instead of quitting. Ask, what caused this setback? What can I adjust? Then move forward. Be kind but not complacent. Don't destroy yourself with guilt, but don't excuse inaction either. Balance compassion with responsibility. Open Book Chapter 12, Building Self-Discipline. Discipline is often misunderstood. People think it's about being strict or harsh, but real discipline is simple. It's doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline versus motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is commitment. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Train your mind like a muscle. Every time you follow through, you get stronger. Every time you quit, you reinforce weakness. Keep promises to yourself. Start small. If you say, I'll do this for 5 minutes, then do it, because self-trust is built through consistency. Open Book Chapter 13, Designing Your Environment for Success. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower. If your environment supports distraction, you will be distracted. Make good habits easy. Prepare tools in advance. Remove friction. Set reminders. Make bad habits hard. Limit access. Add barriers. Change surroundings. Surround yourself with action takers. Energy is contagious. If you're around people who act, you'll act more. Open Book Chapter 14, Becoming the Person Who Takes Action. At the beginning, you focus on actions, but over time, you become someone different. Identity shift. You're no longer someone who wants to start. You become someone who takes action. The ultimate transformation. It's not just about achieving goals. It's about becoming a person who shows up, follows through, moves forward despite fear. Your new standard. Action is no longer optional. It's who you are. So now when you ask yourself, what are you waiting for? The answer changes. Pause. Nothing. Open Book Chapter 15, Clarity, Knowing What to Act On. Taking action is powerful, but taking action in the right direction is life-changing. Many people stay busy but not productive. They work hard, stay occupied, keep moving, but they're not moving forward because they lack clarity. Ask better questions. Instead of, what should I do today? Ask, what actually matters in my life? Define your priorities. Clarity comes from knowing what you value, what you want, what you're willing to sacrifice. Because every yes is also a no to something else. Direction creates power. When you know your direction, your actions become focused, your energy becomes intentional, your progress becomes faster. Open Book Chapter 16, Focus, Eliminating Distractions. We live in a world designed to distract you. Notifications, social media, endless scrolling. Your attention is constantly under attack. The cost of distraction. Every distraction breaks your momentum, weakens your focus, delays your progress. Deep work versus shallow work. Shallow work, easy, quick, low value. Deep work, focused, difficult, meaningful. Your future is built in deep work. Protect your time. Create boundaries. Turn off notifications. Set focus hours. Remove unnecessary noise. What you focus on grows. Open Book Chapter 17. Energy managing yourself, not just your time. Time management is important, but energy management, that's everything, because you can have time, but no energy to use it. Your energy affects your action. When you're tired, you procrastinate more. You think less clearly. You act less effectively. Protect your fundamentals. Sleep, nutrition, movement. These aren't optional. They fuel your ability to act. Work with your natural rhythm. Know when you focus best, feel most creative, have the most energy. Then schedule important actions during those times. Open Book Chapter 18. Resilience. Keep going when it gets hard. At some point, it will get hard, you'll feel stuck, you'll feel tired, you'll feel like quitting. This is the turning point. Most people stop here, but the ones who succeed, they continue. Redefine difficulty. Hard doesn't mean, this isn't for me. It means, this is part of the process. Build mental toughness. Accept discomfort. Stay committed. Keep moving forward, even slowly, because resilience is what separates those who start from those who finish. Open Book Chapter 19. Momentum turning action into results. Momentum is powerful. Once you build it, everything becomes easier. How momentum works. Action right arrow, progress right arrow, motivation right arrow, more action. Protect your streak. The more consistently you act, the harder it becomes to stop. Use wins as fuel. Celebrate small progress, not in a way that makes you complacent, but in a way that keeps you moving. Open Book Chapter 20. Purpose. Why it all matters. At some point you'll ask, why am I doing all this? And that question matters, because action without purpose feels empty. Find your why. Your why gives meaning to your effort, strength during hard times, direction for your actions. Purpose doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need a grand mission. Sometimes your purpose is simple: to improve your life, to help your family, to grow as a person. Purpose fuels persistence. When things get difficult, your why keeps you going. Open Book Chapter 21. Legacy. The life you are building. Every action you take is shaping your future, not just your results, but your identity, your story, your legacy, the big picture. Years from now, your life will be the result of what you did, what you avoided, what you chose. Your daily actions matter. Open Book Chapter 22. Growth. Never stay the same. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start falling behind. Life doesn't stand still. Either you're improving or you're declining. Growth is a lifelong process. There is no final level, no point where you say, I've made it, I can stop now. Because the world keeps changing, and so must you. Stay a student. No matter how much you learn, there is always more. Read, learn, observe, improve. Get uncomfortable again. Once something becomes easy, it's time to level up. Growth lives where comfort ends. Open Book Chapter 23. Self-awareness. Understanding yourself. You can't improve what you don't understand. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. Know your patterns. Notice when you procrastinate, when you feel motivated, when you lose focus. Identify your triggers. What causes distraction, fear, avoidance? Once you see the pattern, you can change it. Be honest with yourself. No excuses, no denial, just truth, because real growth starts with awareness. Open Book Chapter 24. Decision-making. Acting with certainty. Your life is shaped by your decisions, big and small. Indecision is the real problem. Making the wrong decision is often better than making no decision, because action creates feedback. Trust yourself. You won't always get it right, but you will learn, and learning improves your next decision. Decide faster, adjust quicker. Don't overanalyze forever. Choose, act, adjust. Open Book Chapter 25, Discipline a higher level. At the beginning, discipline is effort, but at a higher level, discipline becomes identity. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't say, "Should I do it today?" You say, "This is what I do." Raise your standards. Your standards define your life. Low standards, right arrow, low results. High standards, right arrow, high results. Excellence becomes normal. What once felt difficult becomes your baseline. Open Book Chapter 26, Handling Success. Success brings new challenges, not just failure. Stay humble. Success can make you comfortable, but comfort leads to stagnation. Stay hungry, stay focused. Avoid complacency. Don't stop doing what got you here. Consistency still matters. Keep improving. Success is not the end, it's the beginning of a new level. Open Book Chapter 27, Impact, Helping Others Take Action. At some point, your journey becomes bigger than you. Share what you've learned. Your experience can inspire others, guide others, help others avoid mistakes. Lead by example. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to act. Because people don't follow words, they follow actions. Multiply your impact. When you help others grow, your impact expands beyond yourself. Open Book Chapter 28, Balance, Building a Life, Not Just Success. Success without balance feels empty. Don't sacrifice everything. Achievement is important, but so are relationships, health, peace of mind. Define your version of success, not society's version. Yours. Create harmony. A meaningful life includes progress, connection, fulfillment. Open Book Chapter 29, Reinvention, Starting Again when NEED. Sometimes you'll need to start over. That's not failure. It's growth. You're evolving. Let go of old identities. Who you were before doesn't define who you can become. Begin again with experience. This time you're not starting from zero, you're starting from knowledge. Open Book Chapter 30, The Final Truth, Action is Everything. After everything you've heard, it all comes back to one truth. Action. You can learn endlessly, plan perfectly, think deeply, but without action, nothing changes. Action is the difference between dreams and reality, ideas and results, potential and achievement. Action creates life. Every step you take shapes your future, the ultimate mindset. You don't wait anymore. You don't hesitate endlessly. You don't delay your life. Open Book Chapter 31, Mastery, Committing for Life. At some point, action is no longer a struggle. It becomes natural. You don't force yourself anymore. You don't argue with yourself anymore. You just do. Mastery is not perfection. It's not about never failing. It's about showing up consistently, improving continuously, staying committed long-term. The long game mindset. Most people think short-term. Quick results, vast success, immediate rewards. But mastery thinks differently. It thinks in years, in decades. Fall in love with the process. When you stop chasing outcomes and start loving the work itself, that's when mastery begins. Open Book Chapter 32, Patience, Trusting the Process. Not everything happens quickly, and that's okay. Growth takes time. Seeds don't grow overnight, neither do skills, businesses, personal transformation. Avoid comparison. Someone else may be ahead, but their timeline is not yours. Stay consistent during slow progress. The hardest part is when you're working, you're trying, but results are not visible yet. This is where most people quit. Don't, because progress is happening even if you can't see it yet. Open Book Chapter 33, Courage Taking Bigger Risks. Once you've built action, you must expand it. Small actions build confidence. But big actions change your life. Take calculated risks. Not reckless, but intentional. Start the business. Change the path. Speak up. Go all in. Courage grows with use. The more risks you take, the braver you become. Open Book Chapter 34, Letting Go, Removing What Holds You Back. Growth is not just about adding, it's also about removing. Let go of limiting beliefs, toxic environments, old habits, fear-based thinking. Release the past. Mistakes, regrets, failures, they are lessons, not chains. Make space for growth. When you remove what no longer serves you, you create room for something better. Open Book Chapter 35, Presence, Living in the Moment. In all the action, all the growth. Don't forget this. Life is happening now. Small blue diamond, don't live only for the future. Yes, build your goals, but also experience your days. Appreciate your progress. Enjoy your journey. Be where you are. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. When you live, live. Balance ambition with awareness. You can strive for more while appreciating what you already have. Open Book Chapter 36, Gratitude, Recognizing How Far You've Come. Take a moment, look back. You've grown. You've changed, you've improved, you've taken steps, even if they felt small. They matter. Gratitude builds strength. It shifts your focus. From lack, right arrow to abundance. From frustration, right arrow to appreciation. Use it as fuel. Gratitude doesn't stop your growth, it strengthens it. Open Book Chapter 37, The Daily Choice, Repeating the Process. Here's the truth most people don't talk about. This is not a one-time decision. You don't choose action once. You choose it every day. Every day you decide to act or delay, to move or hesitate, to grow or stay the same. There is no finish line, no final moment where everything is complete. Life is continuous. The real transformation is not in one big decision. It's in the daily choice to keep going. It's not one big moment. It's the small choices repeated over time. The final truth. You don't become successful overnight. You become successful daily. Open Book Chapter 38, Ownership, Taking Full Control of Your Life. Everything changes the moment you take full ownership. No more blaming circumstances, other people, bad timing, radical responsibility. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I do about it?" Power returns to you. When you take ownership, you stop being a victim of life and become the creator of it. No excuses, only action. Excuses may feel valid, but they don't create results. Action does. Open Book Chapter 39, Standards, What You Accept Defines You. Your life is a reflection of what you tolerate. Raise your standards in your habits, your work, your relationships, your mindset. Stop settling. If you accept less, you will live less. Demand more from yourself. Not in a harsh way, but in a committed way, because you're capable of more. Open Book Chapter 40, Integrity, Doing What You Say. Integrity is alignment between your words, your actions. Keep your promises, especially the ones you make to yourself, because every broken promise weakens your self-trust. Become reliable, not just to others, But to yourself, build inner strength. When you consistently follow through, you become unstoppable. Open Book Chapter 41, Simplicity, focusing on what matters. Life is complicated because we make it complicated. Remove the unnecessary. You don't need 20 goals, 50 habits, endless strategies. Focus on the essentials. Ask, what actually moves my life forward? Then do that, less but better. Simplicity creates clarity, focus, execution. Open Book Chapter 42, Courage to be different. If you want a different life, you must be willing to live differently. Most people follow the crowd. They play it safe, avoid risk, stay comfortable. But growth requires separation. Sometimes you'll stand alone, be misunderstood, feel different. That's the price of greatness. You can't follow the crowd and expect uncommon results. Open Book Chapter 43, Inner Peace, Success without Chaos. Success is not just external, it's internal. Peace matters. You can achieve everything, but still feel empty. Create stillness. Take time to reflect, breathe, reset. Balance action with calm. You can be driven without being overwhelmed. Open Book Chapter 44, Faith, Believing without Seeing. Sometimes you won't see results immediately. Believe anyway. Even when progress is slow, results are invisible. Doubt appears. Trust your path. You don't need full certainty, just enough belief to keep going. Faith fuels persistence. When logic says stop, faith says continue. Open Book Chapter 45, The Legacy Continues. This is not the end, it's a continuation. Your story is still being written. Every action you take adds to your legacy. You impact more than you think. Your actions influence people around you. Open Book Chapter 46, Adaptability, Thriving in Change. Life will change whether you're ready or not. Plans fail, situations shift, unexpected challenges appear. Flexibility is strength. Rigid people break under pressure. Flexible people adjust, adapt, and continue. Let go of control. You can't control everything, but you can control your response, your mindset, your next action. Evolve with life. Instead of resisting change, learn to move with it. Open Book Chapter 47, Decisiveness, Moving without hesitation. Speed matters, not reckless speed, but decisive action. Overthinking kills momentum. Too much thinking leads to doubt, delay, inaction. Trust your instincts. You've learned, you've grown. Now, act on what you know. Imperfect decisions still move you forward. Waiting for certainty keeps you stuck. Open Book Chapter 48, Self-Respect, Honoring Your Own Path. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for everything. Respect your time. Don't waste it. Don't delay your life. Respect your effort. What you're building matters, even if no one else sees it yet. Respect your boundaries. Not everyone deserves your energy, your attention, your time. Protect yourself so you can grow. Open Book Chapter 49, Courage to Continue Alone. Not everyone will understand your journey. Some will doubt you, some will question you, some will not support you. And that's okay. You are not doing this for them. You are doing this for your life. Walk your path anyway, even if it means standing alone, being misunderstood, facing uncertainty, because your path is yours. Open Book Chapter 50, Refinement, Getting Better, Not Just Busier. At a certain point, it's not about doing more, it's about doing better. Improve your process. Ask, What's working, what's not? What can I refine? Eliminate inefficiency. Stop wasting effort on things that don't matter. Focus on quality. Better actions, right arrow, better results. Open Book Chapter 51. Silence, the power of less noise. The world is loud. Opinions, advice, noise. Step away from constant input. You don't need to hear everything. Think for yourself. Your life is your responsibility. Find clarity in silence. When things are quiet, you hear what truly matters. Open Book Chapter 52. Courage to start again. Even after everything, there may come a time when you have to begin again. That's not failure. It's evolution. You are stronger now. You have experience, knowledge, resilience. Starting again is no longer scary. It's powerful. Open Book Chapter 53. The long view, thinking beyond today. Most people think about today. Few think about years ahead. Your future is being built now. Every action compounds. Think long-term. Skills, habits, decisions. These shape your life over time. Be patient with results. Big outcomes take time. Open Book Chapter 54. Alignment, living true to yourself. Success without alignment feels wrong. Be honest about what you want, not what others expect. Align your actions with your values. When your life matches your truth, you feel clarity. Stop living someone else's life. This is your journey. Own it. Open Book Chapter 55. The eternal truth, it always comes back to now. After everything, all the lessons, all the chapters, all the growth, there is one truth that remains. Everything happens in the present moment. The past is gone. The future is not here. Only now exists. And in this moment, you have a choice to act or delay, to move or hesitate, to grow or stay the same. This moment defines everything. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, now, future opportunities. The direction of your life. Leave something meaningful. Not just success, but impact, growth, inspiration. Open Book Chapter 56. Awareness, seeing your life clearly. Before you can change your life, you must see it clearly. Most people live on autopilot. They repeat the same habits, think the same thoughts, live the same days, without ever questioning it. Awareness breaks the pattern. When you pause and observe, you begin to notice everything: your routines, your reactions, your decisions. Clarity creates change. Once you see what's happening, you can choose something different. Open Book Chapter 57. Intentional living, choosing your life. There are two ways to live: by default or by design. Living by default. You react, you drift, you follow. Living by design. You choose, you act, you create. Every day is a decision. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. Open Book Chapter 58. Courage to let go of comfort. Comfort is dangerous, not because it feels bad, but because it feels too good. Comfort keeps you stuck. It tells you, stay here. You're fine. No need to push. Growth requires discomfort. Every step forward feels uncertain, difficult, unfamiliar. That's the price of progress. Open Book Chapter 59. Truth, facing reality. Growth requires truth, not excuses, not illusions. Be honest about where you are. Your habits, your effort, your results. Stop lying to yourself. Because comfort lies, but truth sets direction. Reality is your foundation. You can only improve from where you truly stand. Open Book Chapter 60. Inner strength, building from within. External success is fragile if internal strength is weak. Build mental resilience, so when things go wrong, You don't break, strength is quiet. It's not loud, not dramatic, it's steady, consistent, unshaken. Develop emotional control. Feel everything, but don't be controlled by it. Open Book Chapter 61, Responsibility for Your Future. Your future is not random, it's built. No one is coming to save you. No perfect moment, no perfect opportunity. You are responsible for your actions, your direction, your growth. That's not pressure, that's power. Open Book Chapter 62, Commitment, no more half effort. Half effort creates half results. Decide fully. Not to, I'll try, but I will do this. Burn the exit plan. When quitting is not an option, you find a way, go all in. Energy, focus, effort, fully committed. Open Book Chapter 63, Discipline in Silence. Not everything needs to be announced. Move quietly. Work without seeking attention. Let results speak. You don't need to prove anything. Your actions will show it. Stay focused internally. Less talking, more doing. Open Book Chapter 64, The Final Evolution, Becoming Unstoppable. At this level, you are no longer the same person who started. You act without hesitation. You adapt without fear. You continue without stopping. Obstacles don't stop you. They challenge you, strengthen you, shape you. You don't avoid difficulty anymore, you grow through it. Open Book Chapter 65, The Last Message, There is nothing left to wait for. This is it, the final message, at the very beginning. There was hesitation, doubt, delay, waiting. But now, after everything you've heard, everything you've understood, everything you've felt, pause. There is nothing left to wait for. No perfect time, no perfect version of you, no perfect conditions, only this moment. And in this moment, you decide to act, to move, to live fully. Open Book Chapter 66, Persistence when others quit. Most people stop just before their breakthrough. Persistence is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Keep going when it hurts. Discomfort is temporary, results last forever. Small steps compound. Even tiny actions, repeated daily, create monumental change. The moment you don't quit, that's the moment everything changes. Open Book Chapter 67, Intuition, Trusting Your Inner Guidance. You have an inner compass. It knows what your logic may not see. Listen to your instincts. They're shaped by experience and awareness. Take calculated leaps. When your gut says yes, even if your mind hesitates, consider moving forward. Develop intuition daily. Observe, reflect, and act. The more you use it, the sharper it gets. Open Book Chapter 68, Resilience, Bouncing Back Stronger. Life will knock you down. Everyone fails. Everyone struggles. Strength is forged in adversity. The harder the challenge, the stronger you become. Don't avoid hardship. Face it, learn from it, use it. Resilience is a daily practice. Every setback is training for the next level. Open Book Chapter 69, Vision, Seeing Beyond Today. Action without vision can be wasted effort. Vision gives direction. Purpose gives fuel. Imagine your ideal life. Be specific, be detailed. Let vision guide action. Every choice, every step aligns with that vision. Update your vision regularly. Growth changes your path, adapt accordingly. Open Book Chapter 70, Gratitude, the Power of Appreciation. Progress without gratitude feels empty. Recognize small wins. Every step forward matters. Gratitude amplifies results. Appreciation fuels motivation, focus, and resilience. Live thankful daily. A grateful heart is unstoppable. Open Book Chapter 71, Creativity, Solving Life Differently. When obstacles appear, creativity is your ally. Think beyond conventional solutions. Look for angles others miss. Experiment often. Failure is part of creative growth. Creativity keeps life interesting. Innovation fuels progress and opportunity. Open Book Chapter 72. Mentorship. Learn from the best. You don't have to figure it out alone. Seek those ahead of you. Learn from their mistakes and successes. Teach to learn. Sharing knowledge reinforces your own understanding. Build a network of support. Mentors and peers help you accelerate growth. Open Book Chapter 73. Discipline beyond habit. Discipline is more than repetition. It's identity. It's who you are. Make action non-negotiable. No excuses, no exceptions. Habits become lifestyle. Your routines define your reality. Constant refinement. Even strong habits can improve. Never stop optimizing. Open Book Chapter 74. Mindfulness. Action with awareness. Moving fast is good, but moving aware is better. Be present in your actions. Focus fully on what you are doing. Awareness prevents mistakes. Mistakes happen when we act unconsciously. Mindful action compounds results. Every intentional step has more power. Open Book Chapter 75. The legacy of action. What you do today echoes through your life and beyond. Your actions influence others. Family, friends, colleagues, even strangers. Build a life worth remembering. Not fame, not wealth, but impact, growth, inspiration, the ultimate truth. Everything, every choice, every effort, every step builds your story, and your story starts now. Open Book Chapter 76. Influence. The power of action on others. Your actions don't just shape your life. They shape the world around you. Lead by example. Others follow what you do, not what you say. Influence builds trust. Consistency plus integrity equals respect and credibility. Small actions create ripple effects. A single step forward can inspire many. Open Book Chapter 77. Courageous communication. To succeed, you must speak clearly. Express your intentions. Be honest, concise, and purposeful in your words. Confront fear. Speaking truth, even when difficult, builds strength. Communication amplifies action. Your ideas matter. Share them boldly. Open Book Chapter 78. Mindful decision-making. Not all decisions require haste, but every decision shapes your path. Pause to evaluate. Weigh options carefully, but don't overthink. Consider consequences. Every choice carries weight. Act responsibly. Decide with confidence. Once chosen, commit fully to execution. Open Book Chapter 79. Embracing failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Reframe setbacks. Mistakes are lessons, not punishments. Analyze and adapt. Every failure provides data for improvement. Persist anyway. Courage comes from continuing despite fear of failing. Open Book Chapter 80. Strategic thinking. Action without strategy can waste energy. Plan, but don't stagnate. Strategy guides execution. It doesn't replace it. Anticipate challenges. Prepare for obstacles before they arise. Adapt as you go. Plans evolve. Flexibility ensures progress. Open Book Chapter 81. Networking with purpose. Who you surround yourself with determines the speed of your growth. Seek like-minded individuals. People who challenge, inspire, and support you. Build reciprocal relationships. Give value before expecting it. Surround yourself with action. Energy is contagious. Stay close to doers. Open Book Chapter 82. Self-reflection. Regularly evaluating your actions ensures growth stays on track. Assess wins and losses. What worked, what didn't. Identify patterns. Notice habits that help or hinder progress. Adjust continuously. Small improvements compound over time. Open Book Chapter 83. Emotional intelligence. Understanding yourself and others multiplies effectiveness. Recognize emotions. Name what you feel to manage reactions. Manage relationships. Respond thoughtfully, not impulsively. Use empathy. Understanding others' perspective strengthens influence and collaboration. Open Book Chapter 84, Long-Term Vision. Short-term actions only matter if aligned with a long-term plan. Think in decades. Visualize where you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years. Align daily actions. Your everyday choices must support that vision. Revisit often. Adjust your long-term vision as you evolve. Open Book Chapter 85, The Habit of Excellence. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Commit to high standards. Do things well consistently. Avoid shortcuts. Quick wins rarely lead to lasting success. Refine daily. Small improvements every day accumulate into mastery. So now, let me ask you again, what are you waiting for? The perfect time doesn't exist. The right moment won't magically appear. All you really have is now. The longer you wait, the more opportunities pass you by. But the moment you decide to act, everything can start to change. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just take that first step. Start messy, start scared, but start. Because one day you'll either say, I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. Make sure it's the first one. So stop waiting, take action, do it now.